Hi guys, I just wanted to come on and introduce myself today. I'm Cami Gray, and today I wanted to talk to you about transition and overcoming the fear of transition. So I started this program back in July. My coaches taught me well, and I followed program pretty much to T, did well. Lost my weight and got to my first goal of what I wanted to lose about mid-November. From then, I started trying to decide if it was time to transition or not. And what I found was I was quite fearful of this. I really didn't understand why I was fearful, except for I'd been there before, if you know what I mean. I had lost weight before and got off that diet at that time. And it didn't take long until I started going back to my old eating habits and not exercising. And before I knew it, I was where I was to begin with, or worse. So I think part of my fear was I was afraid I was going to do the same thing. So I probably wasted a good month. I still stayed on program, did not gain weight, and actually did lose a little more weight, which made me a little more comfortable. However, I was still fearful. So what I had to do is realize what I was missing, and what I was missing was provide myself with the education I needed. My coaches gave me plenty of education, but from the beginning, something that's been very helpful to me has been our book. Most of us got this book when we placed our order. A lot of people never open it, and that's understandable and okay, but I will encourage you to go ahead and crack that book open. Read a couple of pages a day. It's a very easy read. It's very educational, and it actually has put me given me a peace of mind to know that this is already figured out for me, the steps that I need to take to transition and how to maintain my optimal health, which is what this program is about, right? So I just wanted to kind of tell you what transition is going to look like with some specifics and some great resources in the book that you can find it. The first page that I want to bring your attention to is page 18. It's right there at the first, and it talks about the path to optimal health and beyond. And so this is, we have phases in this program. Phase 1 is our 5 and 1, the weight loss part. What I'm starting now is phase 2, where I'm actually at my goal weight and I'm transitioning. So what transitioning means is right now on 5 and 1, we get about 800 to 1,000 calories a day, right? So with transition, you're going to start increasing those calories to your goal where your calories need to be. The good news is Dr. A has already figured that out for us, how to figure out what our calories need to be. On page 154, there's actually a simple way to do it, and then there's a more complicated way to do it. I did both. But once you're ready for transition, I encourage you to go ahead and start reading that chapter. Transition covers chapters 13 through 16, but here it's going to give you a formula that's really complicated. However, he dumbs it down so beautifully, and you can figure out what your daily caloric intake should be depending on where you are with your activity. So I went ahead and did that the other night, figured out that I need to make it up to about 1,900 calories a day. So what that's going to look like for everyone, usually depending on how much weight you've lost, is how many weeks you're going to take. So to transition, for me, it's going to be 8 weeks. So my first 4 weeks will involve this. On week 1, I'm going to add an additional vegetable to my daily intake. So at first I thought that just meant any vegetable out there, I can go ahead and pick from, but that's not quite true. There's an extra little hint in there, and you need to stay in the dark green section. So what does that mean? There are charts on page 99 that show you the glycemic index of the vegetables and the fruits and the proteins. And so it's a good place to start to see which vegetables you need to be eating during transition. This is one of the charts, and you see the dark green. So here's mainly the vegetables we've already been eating, but one little jewel that is on that list that we have not been eating up to this time is Brussels sprouts. So I get to add in Brussels sprouts. So that's what my first week has looked like. I started last Thursday, and that's just a cup of vegetables, an extra cup of vegetables. So I've started that, sticking in the very low glycemic index, and it's important to do that during transition. So week 2 will start on Thursday, and on Thursday I'll get to add fruit. And again, there is a wonderful chart. It's right here of the fruits, and I'm going to stay up here in the dark green on those fruits for that week. That's adding in about 100 calories. The vegetables is 80 to 100 calories that I've been adding in this week. The fruits would be another 100 calories. So then we move to week 3, and on week 3 we add in dairy. Again, there's a chart to go by, and it tells you what kind of dairy to stick with. And so next week I'll get to add in dairy, and then on the 4th week you add in your whole grains. Again, there's a chart. So he really makes it very simple for you, real easy for you to pick out what you're going to add in during that time. After week 4, for me, week 5 through 8 is going to include working up to my caloric intake that I need. So after using the table to figure out how many calories I need, I fall right at 1,900, and that's due to where my exercise level is right now. As I start increasing my exercise, that'll change, and so I'll refigure it. But during transition, I'm just doing light exercise, that kind of thing. So week 5, 6, 7, and 8, I will add in about 100 calories a week, and I'll start with breakfast and then add more in at lunch and so on. I won't really increase my calories at dinner as much. I'll probably do it more at breakfast and lunch, and then I definitely won't increase that last fueling of the day. I'm going to keep it right at 100 calories, closer to bedtime, because it is important to keep it 100 or lower at bedtime from what I've read in the book. And so those last 4 weeks will be about getting up to 1,900 calories a day. So now that I have turned back to my book and educated myself a little bit better, I feel very secure in the fact that I'm going to be able to maintain this weight. The other exciting thing that he provides for us in this book is ways to exercise, how to start your exercise program, start slow and move your way up. Don't just jump in and start going to boot camp right away, but let your body have time to adjust to that. So I'm excited about that. I've never been a big exerciser, but I am excited to start that. I'm taking the stairs, doing a little treadmill right now, just light exercise, but going to work my way up to and follow his guide and just go through increasing my activity as I can tolerate it until I find a place where I'm comfortable, and that's what I will maintain every day. So I just wanted to encourage everybody, if you are scared about transitioning, I think it's perfectly understandable. We get very comfortable in our 5 and 1. Once you understand it, you get it down pat, and it's kind of a safety zone for you. You're losing weight, you're having good results, and then when it's time to transition, at first I just felt like it's going to be all up to me and I'm going to fail, but luckily that is not true. I'm a coach as well. I should have realized this, but of course my coaches are going to be there for me. Their coaches are there for me. Plenty of people to encourage me and educate me. Plus we have this invaluable book that we can turn to. So I just wanted to encourage you. Number 1, tap into this book, read a little bit about it. Once you get to transition time, when you see it's coming, go ahead and prepare a little bit, and that way it's not so scary. And also reach out to your coach if she's already transitioned or he's already transitioned. They can give you some support and some examples of what to do, and there's really nothing to fear. Together we got this.